what you give to be good, I mean to become better at what you do, right? The better you become, the more you'll be scrutinized.
I think Liquid became a character that became synonymous to you.
Right.
And it must have been hard to kind of get away with it.
It was quite hard and honestly very painful because people just want to see that one side of you as an actor which they have seen already. And being in a creative business, they are not using the basic thing which is creativity.
But the biggest change in me that has happened is that the fear has not gone, but the way I react to it has changed. You know, before it used to overwhelm me. There is more self-belief.
One film of yours, I believe, that actually changed a lot in the sense of it got you a lot of recognition was Haider.
But I think that happened with Sarkar for me, because I think with Bachchan Saab there and all that stuff, people had come to see Mr. Bachchan. They got a bonus along with that. I've done so-called mainstream kind of, Dhandadan movies also I've done. I mean, it's not that I've done films with Akshay Kumar. I've done, what is that film? Sing is Bling and a lot of stuff I've done. Yeah. I've done everything. But for me, the word the best actor doesn't exist. You know, it's a wrong term. All it does is that it boosts your ego and you feel that, I'm great. That's all it does.
When the Railwaymen was announced, I had developed an interest towards it just because Babil was a part of it, and I am a lover of Babil, so that was my first attraction towards the project. But last night, no, that's the truth. But last night when I went to, my plan was to see the show in 2 parts, 2 episodes last night and 2 episodes today. But I couldn't hold back, and I completed the show in one night, and I slept at 5 a.m. because of that. And it was because I think the emotional connect that the show brings, and the reason for it is the acting performances, the writing, the direction, and everything that encapsulates. Because when it comes to depicting a tragedy, it's never easy. You can go too over dramatic, or you can be too subtle. To maintain that balance is very difficult, and the people who have done it are today joining me for a conversation only on Bollywood Bubble. So everyone, welcome. And let me tell you, the 5 people you see, other than that, there is also Madhvan sir. Divyenndu has kept him in spirit. At the right, his mug is there to mark his presence.
Sorry? He's saying thank you.
Yeah, and I have to give it 10 stars. So, as we discussed before, 10 stars for the show already. I will start with Kaykay sir, with you. The show, I think it hits home for you as well, because your second film was also around the same tragedy, the same incident. Did it feel like life coming a little full circle for you when you got the project and you started working on it?
The accent of this one was more on the railwaymen, with the tragedy as a backdrop.
Yeah.
So that is what attracted me to this, because seldom do people know what heroics these guys have done in terms of trying to save as many people as possible, especially the railways, whom we take for granted. The largest organization in this country, with the largest number of employees, largest network, high risk job. So when we sit in a train, we don't realize all that. So for me, that was a homage to the railways as well. And along with that, the heroics and the courage that they displayed, that is what attracted me.
You correctly said, because I know when we talk about railways now and the railway officials, we often talk about them taking bribes and them doing this and that. We don't kind of recognize and acknowledge the work they do.
Yes.
And this kind of sees, even though the situation is different, but it actually kind of sheds light on the kind of work they do, the kind of hard work they put in. They put others' lives ahead of theirs. And one thing that really connected to me about your character was the survivor guilt that it showed. Your character was based on it. In your life, have you ever faced a guilt so large where it kind of ate you up inside? It could be a survival guilt, or it could be any other kind of guilt.
Thankfully, no. Thankfully, no. Nothing like that.
Thankfully, it was. Babil, coming to you, like when I was reading the reviews now, everywhere it's a unanimous praise for you. And I think this has followed you with all your projects. And while it's a good thing, because it's the beginning of your career and everything is coming with very high appreciation, does it somewhere also comes with a sense of fear as well? Because since appreciation is so much, even a little bit of a lack of anything would be scrutinized as harshly if and when it comes in future.
I think that is what you give to be good, I mean to become better at what you do, right? The better you become, the more you'll be scrutinized. I think that's just something. I don't see that negatively. I think that is a flag of saying that okay, you've grown this much, or you've become better at what you do.
Yeah, it's a part of the evolution.
Yeah, exactly.
Ayush, when you write a show like this, you have to portray a situation or incident that has hampered and that has affected the lives of many. There comes a responsibility with it as well. There has to be a little bit of sensitivity. And when you're writing it, it's a different thing. And to put it into vision is also a completely different thing, because these are two different people who are doing it. You and Shiv together. So when it was happening, the sync of it, what you imagine in the writing phase it has to be, and what you envision it to be through your imagination that you had. How was it syncing it up and kind of maintaining that balance of sensitivity and responsibility while also maintaining the fiction and the non-fiction balance?
I think what helped was कि मैंने isolation में कुछ नहीं लिखा. I had a initial concept note which I shared with Shiv, and after that Shiv was on board. So even when it went from a 3-pager to a 20-pager to a 45-pager to the first draft of the screenplay, Shiv का हमेशा feedback was there. It was Dipanjali in YRF script development. The feedback was always coming. तो ऐसा नहीं था कि मैं अलग से लिख रहा हूँ and now Shiv will have to translate it, not knowing ये कहाँ से आया और कैसे आया. He was always there every step of the way. So that syncing part was much easier and organic.
Yeah, it was very fluid because I remember I used to tell Aayush कि Aayush ऐसा कुछ होना चाहिए. I think this kind of a visual will be nice and this should be the feel of it. And then he would take that, he would write a draft, and then मतलब I mean, honestly, if someone goes and pinpoints कि हमने कैसे लिखा, I will not be able to like go back and even go कि अरे ये उसका था, वो उसका था, ये हमने यहाँ पे लिखा था, ये यहाँ से आया. Like I remember something as small as Divyendu's introduction. ये script में पहले कुछ और था, like in the screenplay. Then अच्छा अब आप बना रहे हो पिक्चर तो अब आपको तो जाके बनानी है. And then when you come on to the realistic logistics of it, of how to do it, you're like अच्छा यार ये तो ऐसे लग रहा है कि in terms of like time schedule maybe you may not be able to achieve something like this. Then you come up with a new idea, and then that idea like that वो चश्मे नीचे करता है जो बच्चा है और उसका एक बच्चा, so that led to the बच्चों का gang, and then each thing just वो पता नहीं हो जाता है यार. इस बार हो गया अच्छा हो गया, अगली बार पता नहीं क्या होगा. It's really just that.
But the last episode I really love how the pictures of the actual incident and the fictional world that you kind of collided together,
Yeah.
that kind of enhance the visual experience of watching the show, because it provides a connect as well. So kudos to you both for the way you have kind of built it up and kind of incorporated that all. And since you mentioned his intro, I must say, Divyenndu, like the first time you felt the humane touch with your character is when you're talking to those kids. It brings a very humane touch, because you are shown as a very chalu, for the lack of a better word, kind of a chalu personality. And yours is the one character that actually changes his motivation of work, what he's doing.
Yeah.
Has it ever happened in your life where you have surprised yourself by doing something that was completely opposite of what you set out to do?
I did a project when I was out of FTII, and you go to a film school, you come out of it thinking of cinema as a certain kind of medium, you want to do a certain kind of films. But there I was in a commercial space, and so I did a project called Chashme Baddoor with Mr. David Dhawan, and it was a very different ball game. I had to unlearn a lot of things. It was a completely different commercial tune one had to sing, So there, doing that, I felt okay. I mean, because it wasn't easy at all. Because he comes from a certain kind of language of cinema, which you need to have full conviction to go ahead and do it.
And he's so convinced, right?
He's so convinced, and actually that only helped. He told me that you don't worry, you come on set, मैं तुझे बताऊंगा, तू कर देना.
What a director.
Yeah. So yeah, that incident was something which was completely like off the hook.
Yeah. And also you kind of made a...
Thank you. He said you did a great job.
Oh, we agree.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We agree. But you started off with comedies, and you had to work a lot to kind of prove your worth in the intense roles or maybe different capacities. How was that transition and finding that acceptance like? How challenging was it? Because people had started seeing you in that genre already, and I think Liquid became a character that became synonymous to you.
Right.
And it must have been hard to kind of get away with it.
It was quite hard and honestly very painful because people just want to see that one side of you as an actor which they have seen already. And being in a creative business, they are not using the basic thing which is creativity, of looking someone in a different light as well. So yeah, I definitely struggled a lot there. I mean, it was not easy to continuously saying no to projects because they were coming in that same space of, this thing which wasn't exciting me as an actor. It was, so say no, then to wait for the right project to come, playing your gamble playing off. I mean, it was quite a ride, but I'm so grateful that it finally happened. I mean, more than for anyone else, I think I just wanted to listen. You also want to prove it to yourself also that आप कोई मुगालते में तो नहीं जी रहे, that you think that you can do something very different and क्या पता आप नहीं कर पाओ. So there comes a time जहाँ पे थोड़ा सा शायद कभी doubt आ भी जाए, but I'm just so glad it happened. And अभी के शब्दों में कहने में बहुत squeeze लगता है, but it was
But I learned a new word, mugalte. Thank you so much for teaching. But does it fill you with a sense of self-doubt as well when you're going through that?
doubt कभी कभी आता है, हमेशा नहीं आता है. Although एक हमने एक प्ले किया था जिसमें एक बड़ी सुंदर लाइन थी, उसमें था यदि भय है तो ज्ञान है अधूरा अभी. तो उस पे what gives you confidence is your training through theatre or FTII or the work you have done, So, but there are times when you feel that is it something that I am only looking myself in the mirror in a certain light, and people, is it that hard for people to imagine for you to, do a different kind of a job? So that glitch comes, which is slightly disturbing. But I don't know, there is a inner voice also in you which tells you okay, maybe no, doubt is not the right thing. Whatever you have done, given so many years in training or whatever, is not gonna go in waste. There might be a day where someone would offer you something which is off the grain.
And I feel that inner voice is what helps you survive as well, and it's with
100%.
everyone,
in
whichever field you are in. And it's almost 1 year to the time I first met Babil, and it was in this room only. It was for Kala we met, and it's been a year now.
We
Firstly,
just met for...
we met for Friday Night Plan as well. But let me just tell you, firstly, congratulations. It's been a year of wonderful achievements for you. You have done 3 projects, and all 3 of them have come with a lot of appreciation and laurels. Firstly, Babil, when you see the approach that you had while you were doing Kala, or maybe while you were promoting Kala also, the kind of approach, the attitude you had towards promotions, be it working as well, how has it changed now when you look at it, and how has it changed you as a person as well?
My fear, the way I react to fear has changed a lot. Also, you become used to things as well, you become used to the lights and the cameras. But the biggest change in me that has happened is that the fear has not gone, but the way I react to it has changed. Before it used to overwhelm me, that fear, and a lot of my behavior was based upon that reaction. Now I am able to a great extent just watch how it is feeling that fear and not react to it.
And our outlook towards your work, has it changed or maybe evolved? Change might not be the better word, evolve might be.
I'm just more excited. Like, I'm just looking forward, and there is more self-belief.
I think that shows in your face as well.
No, I'm just sick. That's why.
No, I'm saying the self-belief. Not that one. But the self-belief actually shows, because the confidence that I saw last year and today when I see it, I see a difference in that. And I can say that because I actually been on the other side seeing that. But Kaykay sir, the one film of yours, I believe that actually changed a lot in the sense of it got you a lot of recognition was Haider. It brought you immense recognition. It brought you in the space of commercial cinema as well, because before that there was still a separation between commercial and art, and it was also at the time when that line was blurring between the two. Did you see that difference happening in the kind of offers that were coming to you post Haider?
Live in a metro.
No, I don't think so. That's the case because first and foremost, commercial genesis of the word commercial is from commerce. So whatever does well is commercial. So it doesn't really matter. So different kind of cinema, of course, yes. But I think that happened with Sarkar for me, because I think with Bachchan Saab there and all that stuff, people had come to see Mr. Bachchan. They got a bonus along with that, which is good. So that is the place where I got actually recognized in my career, and after which I didn't have to introduce myself as an actor. I could say I'm Kaykay, So that was a change. So after that, I have not really measured anything in terms of my career, and I don't have yardsticks to measure it as well. So whatever is post facto, after my act is over, is something that is very speculative. I don't really get into it. So for me, that is of no. That's for the cinema pundits and the trade analysts to actually say all that. It's not my job. I'm not an expert in that. So for me, it's a job that I get. I've done so-called mainstream kind of Dandadan movies also I've done. I mean, it's not that I've done films with Akshay Kumar. I've done what is that film? Sing is Bling and a lot of stuff I've done. I've done everything.
Now I'll watch it.
Yes, done everything.
Yeah. So and what Flying Jet. Yeah. So those were the fun rides. I mean, in that उसमें कुछ खास करना नहीं पड़ता है. उसमें सिर्फ अपना पर्सनल अहंकार को तिगुना कर दो, आपकी एक्टिंग हो जाती है.
The reason I mentioned Haider was because it brought in not just appreciation, it came in the terms of awards as well.
यार वो awards
place
का सेक्टर
that
है ना,
was.
हाँ, awards का that's not a yard. Again I said, no
Exactly.
yardstick for me, because that ultimately is and with all due respect to it, I have nothing against it. But for me, the word the best actor doesn't exist. It's a wrong term. The best can happen in athletics, where everybody is running the same race, the same time, the same distance.
Yeah.
The gun goes off, everybody. That there you can say, okay, the best, like Neeraj Chopra is the best. I mean, in javelin as an athlete. But the moment you get it into the arts, then one actor is working with some director with some story, some different conditions. Other guy is doing something else completely different. How the hell are you going to be objective about it? So I really don't believe there's something called the best actor or the in arts.
True.
In the field of sports, yes. So for me, that's a very, I don't know why it's there.
It's
all it does is that it boosts your ego and you feel that I'm great. That's all it does. Doesn't really do anything much. So I still feel that if awards have to be given, also it should be given as a token of appreciation for your work in this film. That's it. We like this work, so we're giving you this award. Instead of qualifying it as the best. Because everybody knows that's not true. Also the awards, as long as there's no title attached to it, like the best, then it's fine.
Yeah.
You can give it as a token of appreciation. True. And you can call it whatever you want to call it. But don't.
One thing that I really wanted to mention is that while yours and Divyendu's camaraderie is like one of the highlights of the show, my favorite scene has to be when it's between you and Babil, where he's telling you about his mother's death, that my mother is no more. And the emotions, the rawness in that scene connects so deeply, and it's very, he speaks it very straight-faced, and he does not brings a lot of variation to it, but still it connects so well. And I feel in that the
Are
whole.
you calling me a bad actor?
No, I'm saying that connects so well. You have that ability.
No, that he said when he said raw.
Daddy said that there'll be no awards for no best. There'll be just Babil, तू actor बन गया ये ले लो. This is your. You finally did it.
No, but I just wanted to say that you bring a calmness to all the chaos that is happening in the show, the chaos of the situation, the way you deliver your dialogues and the calmness you have in yourself and the way you portray it, it actually brings a calmness as a viewer also. It stabilizes it. And I really like that scene because there is that stillness, there's that silence, and even though it's uncomfortable, you can feel the empathy oozing out from him, and you can feel that connect between the two of you. For you, how was that scene like? Because as a viewer, it connected very well for me.
I was just reacting to his performance. That's all I was doing.
Same.
Also, Aayush, how was it for you to write that scene? Let's ask the the guy who actually.
I think that I have a little anecdote about it because when we were doing the readings and stuff, तो बाबिल ने specially पूछा था, when does he know? क्योंकि it's not verbalized. ऐसा तो नहीं है कि जब इमाद रियाज सिद्दीकी स्टेशन मास्टर को बताते हैं कि भाई ये हो गया है, तभी तो वो realization नहीं आया. He knows before it. So me and Shiv, we were discussing कि before we have another session with Babil, we must know ourselves कि what is the point in the graph of Imad Riaz when he knows कि his mother has died. From then on, his acting, his face, his expression, his body language should kind of change.
In the show, there's a shot in the second episode where he's in the locomotive pilot and the old man in the cabin with him asks him, मुझे बस्ती ले चलो, मेरे घर वाले हैं यहाँ. And he says, हम अभी उनके लिए कुछ नहीं कर सकते. At that time, he already knows. चाहकर भी कुछ नहीं कर सकते.
Even I want to go, but
there's no point. So he's like, I know that it's. So he already knows, and that's probably like 30 minutes before the scene where he tells KK sir that.
And even
so
when he says कि अम्मी माफ नहीं करेगी,
he already knows.
So it's not कि अम्मी in person माफ नहीं करेगी, अम्मी माफ वहाँ से नहीं करेगी.
Yeah. And I love that you did not showed it visually that he goes and sees his mother is no more. He knows it. That
because
that was the intention.
That intention is actually very well.
Also, the call of duty is much bigger than and being a personal.
That's the essence of the story, because I mean his whole character is based on that one line, which is ये मेरा शहर है मेरी बस्ती.
Yeah.
कुछ हुआ लोग मेरे मरेंगे. So when he realizes his mother is no more, he knows that there's no point. Now I need to do whatever I can do to save the larger number of people.
And as you said, Call of Duty, I think that's the essence of the Railwayman, and that is actually what has connected to me as an audience, and I'm sure it has connected to millions out there as well. And I'm sure it's gonna grow and grow a lot more further. Thank you for giving us this project. Thank you for being the people and the talents that you are, and it has just increased our expectation from you all. Thank you so much for this, and thank you so much for giving me this chance to have a conversation with you all. Wishing you all lots and lots of love and luck. And thank you, Madhavan sir, as well. And Divyenndu, please convey my thanks to him as well.
No, he can hear you.
Is he replying?
Yeah, he's saying watch it on Netflix. We are trending also.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So The Railwayman is streaming on Netflix. Yeah. It's streaming from 18th of November, and now it's on all your devices. You can watch it on your phone, your laptops, on your TVs, everywhere. And please do watch it, because it's an excellent work of art, and I think it deserves to be seen. So thank you so much.
Sweet of you.
Thank you,
buddy.
thank you.
Thank you.